Hi everybody, Wendylove here today, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be going through surgery. Yes, I'm going to be going through surgery, and I'm absolutely terrified. I'm scared, and that takes a lot for me to admit, because normally I'm a very tough person, and I try not to let things get to me, but I can officially say I am scared. I'm downright scared. Now, I've never had surgery in my life. This could be my first operation, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm going to admit it. I am. I'm going to take the time to admit it to all of you. I am very, very afraid. I am. Which I think is kind of ridiculous, but you know what? It's something I have to go through, so I have no choice but to do it, but I really don't want to, and that's why I want to get out there right now. I do not want to go through this. So most of you are probably wondering, why are you going through surgery? Well, I unfortunately have huge problems with my gallbladder. It decided to stop working suddenly out of nowhere. I don't even know how that happened. And now I have to have it removed. So for some of you who do not know what your gallbladder is, it is basically an organ attached to your liver, and your liver creates something called bile, and bile gets stored in your gallbladder. So let's say you go to McDonald's and you order a quarter pounder and you eat it. Well, your gallbladder will release the bile into your system to help you digest the fats. Now, for me, unfortunately, my gallbladder isn't functioning properly. So if I go out and I actually order a burger, I order something with a lot of fat in it and I eat it, my gallbladder is working overtime to try to release the bile into my system, and that is what causes a lot of pain for me. Unfortunately, it is the worst pain of your life. So, most of you who have known me on Twitter and know me online, you know the struggle I have went through for the last year over this stupid gallbladder thing. Now, I feel like I shouldn't complain because I know with the healthcare system in Canada, it's free. It is, and I'm grateful for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely grateful that it's free, but I had a huge struggle with this. I did. And in the beginning, I remember I woke up like 2 o'clock in the morning one night in extreme agony and extreme pain, and it was really bad. I mean, it almost had me down to my knees. So I went to the emergency room. I waited 8 hours. I'm not even joking. It was 8, seriously. And the doctor there didn't even do a blood test. He didn't do anything for me. He just said, "You have an ulcer." And I was like, really? So he gave me a stomach pill, sent me home, and the next day, unfortunately, after supper time, I got very, very sick. I was very, very sick, and I was in pain again. So I was scared to go back to the emergency because I didn't want to run into the same doctor. So I went to a health clinic, and the nurse there was kind of like, maybe you should go to the emergency room if you're in that much pain right now. And I said, I've been there already. I want to see a different doctor right now. So she put me through to the doctor, and no word of a lie, within 1 minute, he checked me over, and he said, "You have gallbladder problems." And I was like, really? So he told me, "I'm going to suggest you go back to the emergency room tomorrow morning at 6. So he gave me a painkiller, sent me home. I went back to the emergency at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to deal with them. I really didn't. And I told the girl, I explained to the nurse the situation that happened, everything that happened, and I was kind of annoyed by it because I feel like this is something that they should have ran some tests on me to just figure out what was wrong with me, but they didn't. And I was pretty aggravated. I was. And she was just kind of like very nice about it. Like, "Oh dear, don't worry. We're gonna check you out. You're gonna be fine." And it just seems to me when someone, like, I know she's being like fake nice to me. And that just kind of pissed me off more. It just made me a little bit more angry. But I kind of held my tongue. I did. And whenever I got a chance to see a doctor, like 4 hours later, 5 hours later, waiting in the waiting room, the doctor had told me, "We're going to run an ultrasound on you and check out your gallbladder and see how it's going." Okay, well, that's good. And I was glad. I was like, oh my God, they're finally going to do something about this. Anyway, so I go for my ultrasound, then I go back in the waiting room for another 5 fucking hours, and the doctor calls me back in, and he says, "Your gallbladder's fine." And I was like, "What do you mean my gallbladder's fine?" He said, "Well, your gallbladder is perfectly normal. I'm going to have to agree with the first doctor that you saw, and I'm going to say it's an ulcer. So go home, take your stomach pills, and in 2 days you're going to feel much better." And then just when I thought I was about to leave, now I'm the type of person where if I don't know you, don't fucking touch me. Seriously, don't fucking put your hands on me. I don't like that. This doctor put his hand on my shoulder and he leaned in and he said, "Are you stressed out?" are you okay? And I said, okay, fuck this, I'm leaving, I'm done. And I left the room with the doctor. I was like, screw this. I was like, I'm not putting up with this shit. Anyway. So the next night, of course, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have extreme pain once again. It's very, very bad. Anyway, so I stayed up all night. 8 o'clock in the morning, I had called my family doctor finally, explained the situation, and they actually made an appointment for me right away to see him. So when I seen him, once again, it only took him 1 minute. 1 minute after he said to me, listen, Wendy, you have gallbladder issues. We really have to fix this problem right now for you. It is something that we have to fix. He said he was going to send me through a nuclear scan. So he books me 2 weeks off work because I was in pain. I couldn't eat anything. I must have went like 3 days without eating anything because I was so scared the pain was going to come back. And I went through my nuclear scan. I went back to my family doctor and he said, listen, your gallbladder is not functioning properly, so you're going to have to go through surgery. I was like, okay, great. That's wonderful. Yeah, great. I can't wait. That's exciting. Anyway, so he made me an appointment with a surgeon, and unfortunately, it took like 2 months to get in to see a surgeon because he's one of the best around here. And when I finally got to see a surgeon, I was feeling much, much better. I like, honestly, I watched my diet. I was exercising. I was taking care of myself because I was so scared this god-awful pain would come back and paranoid that I tried my best to do everything I possibly could. So when I went to go see a surgeon, he asked me, when was the last time you actually had an attack? And when I told him 2 months ago and I explained to him what I was doing, he said, wow, that's really great. Like, normally people do not do that. He's like, normally people they want to go through surgery and get it over with. And I said, do I have to go through surgery? Is this something I have to do? And he suggested to me, well, you can go through surgery, or we will actually just, if you want to continue doing what you're doing now, and if you get any more pain, you can just call my office directly, and I'll schedule you an appointment for surgery. And I was like, okay, great. So that's what I did for about a year. For about a year, everything went great. I was exercising, taking care of myself. I was eating properly. I was watching everything I ate. I was very strict on everything I did. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the year, I went on a vacation. Now, everyone knows when you go on a vacation, it's you're going to eat out at the restaurants, you're going to eat fast food, you're going to eat all that fucking good stuff, right? You're going to eat that. Well, that's what I did. So my second or third day of my vacation, I was just in fucking extreme agony. I was in pain. So I had a bad gallbladder attack. So what I had to do was make another appointment with the surgeon, which I just recently had done in September. I got that done in September. And I went back to see him, and he really was he said, I have a high amount of respect for you for trying to sort this out yourself and trying to actually try to do something other than surgery. He was like, I know many people who just actually, they find out they have a problem and they just want surgery right away, but you actually took the time to try to fix it. And he goes, I just have a huge amount of respect for you for that. And I thought that was kind of nice that he said that. I really did appreciate it. So he suggested now that you go through surgery. You're going to this is something that you're actually going to have to do now, because he's like, I'm scared within maybe another year or so. He goes, you never know. He goes, it could get infected and then you'll have more problems. So we're just going to get it out right now. And I said, great. But this is just a thing for me. I've never wanted to go through surgery. This is not something I want to do. But you know what? I figured that if I can just get this video up and just let you guys know what's going on, maybe it'll make me feel a little bit better about it. And maybe I'll just feel kind of like a little bit of peace about it, I guess. And I'll be all set for tomorrow and I'll be all good. Now, I just want to let you guys know, I have some uploads. My surgery's early tomorrow morning. I'm going to be taking a few days off. I'm not going to be recording. I'm not going to be doing any editing. I'm not going to be doing anything like that. So I've set a few videos aside to be uploaded already. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. So if you don't see me on Twitter, you don't see me around, you guys know that I'm just trying to take the time to heal right now. So that's it. That is pretty much it. And that is what is going on. And it's been a struggle. But you know what? I'm just hoping after this, I'm going to feel much better. I'm going to feel back to myself. And I'm going to live to fight another day. Exactly. Anyway, so I'm going to go for now, guys. I'm going to be talking to you probably in maybe less than a week. I'm not sure. If you need to get a hold of me, you can send me a direct message on Twitter. I'll have my iPhone around. You know, I always have my iPhone. I love my iPhone. I love it. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I will be talking to you soon, guys. Peace.